Nestled amongst vintage HDB flats in the Hougang heartland is an iconic campus with sky blue roofs and ivory walls.
Welcome to Montfort.
Although the current compound is just over 20 years old, the school's rich history predates Singapore's independence. Be it in the original campus along Upper Serangoon Road, or within the walls of the current Hougang Avenue 8 compound. For generations, Montfort has transformed the lives of multitudes of students who have walked through its gates, one boy at a time, to become a man for others. On 9th April 2016, Montfort School held a fundraising dinner to mark its 100th anniversary. Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong was the guest of honour. Mr. Lee congratulated Montfort for its achievements over the century. Over the decades, these achievements have been varied. But for over 100 years, the school's leaders and teachers have always relished one simple reward.
To every Montfortian, my simple words to them would be Ajay Kot Ajay. Do well in whatever you set out to do. And if you carry this with you through your life, it will serve you well. Be that be in work, at play, in your lives, society, with friends, everything that you do. If you embody this, it will serve you very well.
You can be rich, you can be an expert in any field that you are, but at the end of it, you bring yourself down to a level where you empathize with the society around you. The other one would be respect. I think the teachers has impart a very strong sense of respect.
Montfort, since the time when we started, was not known as a top school in terms of academic performance and things like that, But I think we have achieved a lot in terms of our overall standing. And this is best exemplified by the people that we have produced who have gone on to leadership positions in Singapore society, in the Catholic Church. So it tells you that we have got something very precious here, that this is a good place.
What makes this place special is that it draws on the teachings of St. Louis-Marie de Montfort, who in his lifetime was an educator and a priest. Till death, he always put others before himself.
His great compassion for the poor, picking up the poor on the streets sometimes, helping poor children to get some education so that they can learn the catechism. But he realized that children cannot learn catechism unless they learn to read and to write and to speak in their language. So he started schools basically because that was the felt need that he had among the poor children. There was no public schools in those days as we see them today. So he began charitable schools for boys and girls at the time when he was alive.
Today, more than 3 centuries after his death in 1716, St. Louis' legacy lives on in 7 educational institutions set up by a group of his followers known as the Brothers of St. Gabriel in Singapore.
So as Brothers of St. Gabriel, while we are committed to education, but more than school education, for those who are not academically inclined, we also provide vocational training, training in skills. Fundamental mission for us is to help young people. They are the hope, they're the future. Our helping them is not just helping them as individuals, but we know that if we help one member of the family, that will also raise up the whole family.
From 1936 to 1974, when the brothers directly ran the school, they made education easily accessible to the then Kangkar community, especially to poor families who could not afford to put their children through school.
We had a number of brothers, and they sacrificed everything to fulfill their mission, which is to educate children from poor families. They didn't do it for themselves, they do it for others. Whatever they would have earned as a teacher in the school went into their order. They don't have any material assets for themselves. So it was a total sacrifice for educating children.
Today, this two-story building located within the grounds of the Church of the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary is the last surviving vestige from Mr. Lim Boon Heng's time at school. For a century, it's been a silent witness to monumental events such as its transition from a parish school to one run by the Brothers of St. Gabriel, the school's brief closure during World War II, its rebranding from Holy Innocents English School to Montfort School, and its eventual demolition and relocation to the current campus in Hougang Avenue 8. Even though the surroundings might be different, this historic site still evokes a strong sense of nostalgia among alumni.
Back then, there's only one canteen that serves both the primary and the secondary school. We literally grew up in the canteen, right, for the whole of 10 years and eating the same food. Till today, I think a lot of us will still remember the taste and the smell of the mee siam or the mee rebus. You know, things that happened behind the church. A lot of private settlements were done. A lot of eraser fighting, kuti-kuti fighting were done. The old field was where a lot of also settlements take place, a lot of catching spiders around the drain that surrounds the school.
But while old buildings may be gone, the school continues to soldier on, as it continues its century-old mission of molding students to achieve their fullest potential in service of others, either as a scholar, sportsman, gentleman, or leader.
Ourselves as motivated.